All right, I want to talk to you now about controlling your path. And in the prior video that I've done, I talked to you about how to control that club face for your shot shape. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, I suggest you go back onto the channel and watch the shot shape video. It's very good in understanding the face. But also, too, what we have to do is we have to understand the path. And when you the way you really get control over your golf shot is by understanding what the path of the club is doing and how to match that face to the path. So I want to work on now getting you to understand, through the use of this shoelace, how to work on path. So this is a very easy thing to do. What we're going to do is I'm just going to set this up so that it's going towards that target. Understand, by the way, that face is the most important thing. So even though I might have a good path that's going down the line, if I don't have the face lined up exactly where I want, then this isn't going to start at that target necessarily, in the center of the target. You're going to get better, but it's not going to be perfect. It's got to be a match of and a marry of what's going on with the path and what's going on with the face being the most important thing. So what we do is, instead of using 2 tees now, we're going to use 4. So I'm going to set this up like this. And then I'm going to take this here. So I'm going to put that down like that. So I create a little pathway here. And you're going to take that inside one, you're going to put it on a slight angle. Now, we're going to pull this back, just like this. And now I've created a little box. So I put that there like that. Come over here. Put that down. Now I'm going to stretch that back a little bit. So there's our box. This doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It just has to be in the neighborhood. Okay? Now, what you do is you're going to put this ball in front of the box. And again, I have plenty of room to get the tees down in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing this club head down through this box, hoping to get the club to go right through both of those, maybe slightly on the inside. So there's my strike. And what I got was I got a shot that was more or less at my target. I'm not in the woods. I'm not in a bunker. I'm not in a hazard. I'm more or less at my target. Now, I'm going to do the exact same thing, only this time, I'm going to turn on the camera. So let's put that camera on here, back in here. And now we're going to do same thing again, more or less at my target. Now, let's see what we get here. So here comes the club coming down. Now, when I get it, just so you know that when I get this club on the right path, and I don't want you to be confused with what happens with the club past the strike. This is where a lot of people, you see this all the time. People make a divot, and then they look at their divot, and their divot is going to the pull side of where the ball started, and they go, I'm swinging over the top. No, you're not swinging over the top. You don't even know what you did, because what's the influencer of the start line is the face of the club, not necessarily path, face of the club, and also, too, where this has come from. Not where it's gone to, but where it's come from. So what's going on before you get into that golf ball? So here we go. The golf ball gets blurred out. That means that the club is right on the strike line here. So there it is, dead center of the club face, right in the middle of the box. Strike goes down. Now watch how my club moves to the left. I'll show that again. And it moves to the left. Club is down the path. The club is down that box line, that path, and it moves over to the pull side. Ball doesn't go to the pull side. Ball starts down a little bit to the left. Pull up the there you go, the sim there. And what you could see is that ball started to the left and it moved back to the target. That's the shot shape that I like to hit. So what you've got to learn is how to get this club on the strike line. Let's say you want to hit a draw. Well, now we got to have a little square, a little closed face to path, right? So what we do here is this. We now take the path and we alter the path. So I go like this. Put my tee right here. Take this other thing. Pull it out. Now it's there. Now this is dramatic. I'm going to record this now because this will be fun because we'll compare it. So I'm going into a draw path. So I'm in here like this. Now the path of the club is going to be coming in from here. I caught it a little bit thin. Okay, so not a great strike, but let's see what happens to the path. Goes back in the path. Club comes down now. This is going to come from the inside. I'm going to show you how different these swings are going to look. By the way, that club is down from the inside. Now watch this club go down this path. It's right in the path. We are on the runway. Now I'm in the runway. Now I've got the club face a little closed. Now the ball starts out. That thing there started about 2.5 degrees to the right-hand side. So let's just look at how different these swings are because this is going to be really fun to watch. Okay, so you can tell, by the way, there's the address of that one. So first of all, when you look at the pathways over here, this path is going like this, and this path is going pretty square. So those paths are totally different, okay? Let's erase these. Now, watch what happens as I'm trying to work on my path, how my swing gets altered. First, when I take the club back here, the club goes back. It actually blurs that golf ball out right there, and now it takes the club back, and it goes right through my hands. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. So that's a square path in the backswing. That's exactly what I want my swing to do. This is going to be an inside takeaway over here. When we get an inside takeaway over here, now what you're going to see is this club is going to work underneath my hands when it's parallel, which is right there. So those two clubs are in the exact same position, but they're in completely different positions. In other words, they're the same distance away from the ball. They're parallel to the ground. Both shafts are parallel to the ground, and yet these are in completely different positions as I'm altering my path through this little box that's in my mind that you put on the ground there with that shoelace. Now, watch what happens when we start to come up. So that's the position at the top there. Here's the position at the top here. One of the things that you'll notice is that the golf club right here is now at an almost a perpendicular angle. This one right here, so that other one was 81 degrees. This is 69 degrees. So what I ended up getting was a 12-degree difference in the shaft plane at the top. One that on my draw swing is going to be a little bit more like this, and one in my fade swing is going to be a little bit more like this, with the camera in the same spot, by the way. That's an important part of this. Now, where you're going to see a lot of difference is what this looks like coming down. So the club starts to come down, and what you're going to see is right there is where the shaft of the golf club is going through my trail arm. When we look at this other one, you will not see that club shaft go through the trail forearm the way it did here. So watch, we come down. Now it just grabs the trail forearm. It's not in it there, and it's right in it right there. So totally different spots. The head of the golf club is right back here on this one. The head of the golf club is in the forearm right there. Completely different. Now watch what happens. I'm going to erase some of these drawings. Watch what ends up happening when the club comes down into the strike. This club never blurs out the golf ball. The toe gets into the golf ball right there. And now it's lined up for a center strike on that, we'll call that runway right. That's runway right. Now, here's runway straight over here, and in runway straight, the golf club is right in the runway right there. It's going to blur out the golf ball right there. You can see it blurred out. And now it's right on the runway. 2 center strikes, totally different positions. Look at how much of my forearm I can see right there. Here's my trail arm underneath. Over here, I can't see the lead arm. Over here, I can see the lead forearm on top of the trail arm. There's a couple other things that are taking place there, but I don't need to mention that to you. What I need you to understand is the following. When you start to understand how to control this path, you've got a better chance of understanding how to control the start line. And this little drill that I've got here is a wonderful drill to help you get to where you're comfortable with what you're doing with your path. So there you go. There's my path right there, set up nicely. And now all I'm going to do, and again, I don't like to hit draws. I kind of like to hit fades. That's what I like to do. So I get in here, feel that club going right into there, and then down. I get a shot that starts out just slightly to the left, moves back to the target, right in line. Didn't hit it as hard as I can, but Gibbsy, when you pull that up again, what you're going to see is that's coming right down the chimney. That's what we call Santa Claus. That is coming right down the center of my target. That's what I want you to do. So when we start to talk about understanding the start line of a shot, and we're focusing on our path, this little drill will help you immensely. Again, shoelace, set it up like an open box, and when you set it up like an open box, you get that club traveling in there. You're going to really improve the start line, I promise you. But start line is also, too, affected by the position of the club face as well, and you have to make sure that both of them you're paying attention to. And as I said earlier, if you missed that conversation that I had with shot shape, all you got to do is go find that video that's right here on the channel and watch that. Put those two together, that one and this one, and you're going to really have control over your shots and over your scores, because you're going to play a lot better. You're going to eliminate those shots that you're trying to hit a draw and you start it to the left, or you're trying to hit a fade and you're starting it to the right or the push side. You'll eliminate all that stuff. You'll really have a clear understanding of how to get control over your golf ball, how to get control over your path, and obviously how to get control over your face. Okay? Make sure you keep it right here. Tell your friends about what we're doing over here. Make sure you like, make sure you follow, and we'll keep you up to date with all of our information. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.